diet pills. There was a middle-aged woman who was very fat and desperately wanted to lose weight. She had tried all sorts of fat diets, but none of them seemed to work. Exercise was definitely out of the question because she was just too lazy and she lacked the willpower to force herself to eat less. One day she was flipping through a magazine when she came across an advertisement for diet pills.
"Guaranteed weight loss in just 2 weeks,"
said the ad. The company was selling the diet pills over the internet, so the woman decided to order a month's supply. A few days later, she received a package in the mail, and when she opened it, she was surprised to see that it only contained 12 large pills. The instructions said that she would take 1 pill per month with a glass of water, and afterward, she should avoid eating spicy food or drinking alcohol. The woman popped the diet pill into her mouth and swallowed it down. A few days later, she noticed that her appetite had completely disappeared, and she didn't feel hungry at all. Even though she didn't do any exercise, she was beginning to shed the pounds. As the days went on, she quickly began losing more and more weight. Within no time, she was admiring her slim new body in the mirror. The change was stunning. She had gone from a pear shape to an hourglass figure in no time at all. Unfortunately, the diet pills proved to be more effective than she had expected. Even though she was down to her target weight, she continued to get thinner. And soon she was feeling tired, weak, and she had sharp abdominal pains. The pain finally became so intense that she was forced to go to the hospital. A doctor examined her and became alarmed after taking an X-ray of her stomach. He asked her, had she eaten anything strange lately?
"No,"
replied the woman.
"I've barely eaten anything at all since I started taking my diet pills."
The doctor asked to see the bottle of pills. He broke 1 capsule, opened it, and brought the contents down to the laboratory to be analyzed. When he returned, he had some rather troublesome news for the woman. The diet pills contained the eggs of a tapeworm. Slideshow. Fingers trembling with excitement, I opened the package. Just as I'd hoped, it was the camera I won from eBay. With mild delight, I realized I'd received a better deal than I'd planned, because the previous owner had left the memory card in the slot before sending an email to the seller. Alerting them of the mistake, I decided to see if anything was on it. Setting the camera on slideshow, I watched as the camera displayed a picture of a shipping label. My confusion turned to horror, as the next image was of a person brutally murdered. The rest of the card was alternating pictures of a mailing address followed by a murder scene. The last image was of the shipping label from the box I had just opened. I told you to smile. It was the 2nd of January. At 4 a.m., I woke up to a knocking on the door. 1 knock every 3 seconds. I slipped on my slippers and walked down the stairs. As I walked down, the knocking on the door got faster, almost like a heartbeat. When I got to the door, the knocking stopped. I looked outside and nobody was there. I went back up to my room and went back to bed thinking it was just some kids playing a prank. At 4:21 a.m., I woke up to the front door slamming shut. I jumped, terrified. I looked over at my frosted window to find "Smile" written all over it. I grabbed my phone next to me, ready to call 911, only to find a message written on it saying, "I told you to smile." I cried and ran for my life, running outside. As soon as I got outside, I ran to my neighbor's house across the road. They answered and held me while I sobbed. They phoned the police. At exactly 5:42, the police came to my neighbor's house. After an extensive search of my house, they told me that there had been no evidence at all of anyone in my house other than me. The messages on the window were gone. The same with my phone. They told me to get some sleep. and advised me to see a doctor about stress and anxiety problems. Screw that. I knew what happened to me was real. After spending the day at my neighbor's, I went home. I went up to my room and set up a camera. It was aimed at my bedroom door and my bed. I set it to record and went to sleep. Thankfully, I slept through the night. However, as I watched the footage, I couldn't believe what I saw. At 3 a.m, something crawled out from under my bed. It was a completely naked, anorexic man. He stood up and looked at me on the bed. He did so for another hour, not moving at all. Then he moved. He walked over to the camera until his face took up the whole shot. He was extremely pale and had bulging veins all over his head. His eyes were completely black, with a huge smile on his face. He stared at the camera for another 2 hours, not blinking, just slightly twisting his head every now and again. After 2 hours of him staring went past, he walked back over to my bed and crawled back under. I skipped the video forward until it showed me getting up and walking over to the camera. The video finished. I was frozen with fear. The video showed him going back under, but not leaving. Whatever it was still there.